Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset podcast. My name is Concept Brooks, and this episode we're going to talk about fun icebreakers. As you know, these are one of those weird stuff that I think is really weird. Because when I'm on the side that is actually do the what I call the icebreakers and stuff, it's really weird. It's really weird. But you know, and I see it in the company where they have these stuff, this random stuff like prize giveaway where basically if you do certain well they give you a prize and all kind of random stuff. And what happened is that I realized that there's a company that type of company that not really really recognized as relevant and such like that. That's it. But internally they are doing things to actually kind of boost morale so that it actually the people that is in the company actually more more invested in the company. And what I realized that there are people there that have been there for 3 years, people there for 7 years and stuff. And the person that interviewed me said that he's there for so many years, and he liked what he did and stuff like that and stuff. And what I realized is that the reason why I like what he did was because maybe all the other fun icebreaker stuff and the thing that make him part of the company culture, those are what made him actually like the 7 years, even though the work is really tiring, frustrating and such like that. It's not an ideal job that I like to be. But all those random stuff that they do, intangible stuff, actually make you want to stay there. And that's where it comes to this thing where it be like we always mention, don't don't go into the 9 to 5 job where you actually stay there and stuck and not actually leveling up. you know like for example, this is not a phase that you want to be in forever. You want to make the money to actually do stuff, maybe travel the world, go to higher school or stuff like that. You're making the money for a reason. But all this fun break ice breaking stuff, make you part of the company and like you and stuff like that, but it make you actually forget about your goals. When you forget about your goals, then you get trapped in the company and then boom. And then where money is your master, you're not the master of your money. The money is the master of you. You're basically going to work to actually make the money again to actually be like, oh yes, can do this stuff and then you go back again and do the same thing. No. That's actually about progressive goal. But these are important as well to now the fun ice breaking stuff to actually boost the morale of the company. And what I realized, as I mentioned that before, what I realized is that a company is always growing. So when you start a company and stuff like that, it's always growing. So at this moment where it's still not really respected or stuff like that. But I'm talking to one of the clients. I was talking to one of the clients, and what happened was that the person mentioned, "Oh, they have this type of company in my location," and be like, "Yes," and be like, and then what he said was, "I'm glad to hear that this type of company is in this location to actually build up develop the country and stuff like that." So that's what one of the client was saying, and say that okay, he do this type of work at a certain part of this part of the country as well. So he so what happening is that is this job is not the most ideal job, but when you look at the grander view in the sense that we're trying to develop to reach um develop the world ourselves to reach a higher standard. We can't just give people make people be the best, give people the heaven. Is if heaven was that easy, um we will just basically give everybody what heaven is not that easy actually. You have to actually work to get it. So we can't just the nice job that everybody wants. We can't just give everybody to it, or else the value of it will go down. But what happens is that as you go up as a country progress, and what happens is that certain jobs are below certain standard, and what happens is that it becomes so common that they can actually just start to offshore it to other undeveloped places that need to actually develop so that they can use it to actually start to develop themselves either. And then what happened was that then someone like me that I grew up and say, okay, this this job is a dead end and stuff like that and frustrating, come back around now with this new vision of what I can use it for. To actually use it and then actually just come and just try to push it further along and get what I want, what I can from it. Then while I try to make myself and progress as well in it, so that's how nation develop and stuff like that and stuff and where you go into school and learn about all these pioneers and stuff like that. That's basically being this far now, you realize that's what happened. They come and then they took advantage of this stuff and then just push it further and then they push it further because maybe of their own reason, and then because of their own reason they got their dreams, push it further, and then boom, they could make a contribution to society. Be like, okay, yes, yes, they did that to actually push the culture forward. But that's where the next thing come now, where where you have the hero and be like, oh yes, this is a hero that pushed the thing forward. Then you have the side story where they go into deep details and be like, oh, this man was not kind and all those stuff. He was mean and he was all for himself and stuff like that. That's where the side story goes, because what happened was that he came in for his own reason, come build his vision, but he brought it further. He brought it further, but if you were the human himself, you realize, okay, he went there to actually try to for his own reason. He saw the opportunity and the opportunity that many people didn't realize, and then he just took advantage of that, and then boom, push it further. And then now he helped the people to actually get a more prosperous life. But the critiques and stuff will be like, oh, he's so mean and stuff like that. But when I realize, okay, we actually push the thing further. So that's the essence where um icebreakers and stuff are important as well to actually boost the morale of the company, because what happens is that the type of work that I'm doing, it's not an easy load. So I have to actually do things to actually um um make the work as easy as not easy. Not easy in the sense that, but let's actually make the 8 hours that you're there as bearable as possible. And this is important as well, because when you're doing the work, it's actually hard work. It's actually frustrating, boring work and stuff like that. So you actually need certain things that morals to actually make sure that you're incentivized to actually do the work and do it well. So that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode. Mm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
I'm not getting a dog because we're in a I'm in the second year of home ownership, and one of those things where, as I said, dogs is a man's best friend, but growing up, it was my worst enemy, and it's one of those things where you're at this stage in life, and you're breaking the curses that you were growing up into, trying to change the cycle. That's one of the things is for anything that you're doing. You're not going to born into a situation that you dream of. So you have obstacles and challenges, and what happens is that you're gonna go through those obstacles and challenges and stuff, and then what happens is that you reach a point in time. If you survive it, then you'll be in a position where you're reaching to adulthood, getting work or something like that, and then you'll be in a position to say, okay, I could bring us a younger me into the future. But